Welcome to Sodo Creations, where we make your imagination a reality. I'm unboxing the flowers I ordered from Shop Wild Things. This is the first time I'm purchasing from them, but this was the only place that I could find these flowers in the stems that I wanted. I'm going with the Japanese cherry blossoms, the blossom tree branches, and they are the only ones that I could find. Maybe I didn't search deep enough, but they are the only ones I could find who had long enough stems, because you see the centerpieces I'm making have pretty wide, and the stems need to be long to make the arrangements. What I'm doing here is just shaking them off, kind of fluffing everything up as I pull them out of the box. We're not going to use the greenery that comes with it, but they kind of account for that by making it not too hard to pull them off. I separated all of them here into pieces so that each one will go. I think I have about 12 on in each pile that I'll use for the center pieces. We are making we're making 9 center pieces for this event, and we'll have about 10 tables that have the tall candelabra. So you can see my base there to get me started. I have these tall vases. They are over 32 inches tall, and I'm going to use that as my base. These are the hydrangeas I usually use for events. These colors come with the stems folded, so when I pull it out, I have to straighten that out before I get all the stems out. And also fluffing it up just using my hand to tap, it kind of has a powder residue over them. But I'm trying to figure out how short I want to cut the stem, so I can gauge how big the whole centerpiece is gonna be. But these are the leaves right there. I didn't like them because they have an orange undertone, not quite that true green, so I decided to pull all of those off, because the colors for this event is wine, gold, and ivory, or wine, gold, and champagne. So that's what we're prepping here to get everything ready. The flowers took me quite a bit of time. That's why I'm starting that first, because I knew with bigger centerpieces like that, first I needed a lot of flowers, and I had not quite gauged how much time it would take me, but I decided to start early. This is about a month ahead that I'm making these flowers, so you can see me prepping everything here. I start my base with the big tall branches so that I can go back in and then fill in all the flowers. As you continue to watch me, if this is your first time tuning in, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please consider clicking that subscribe button and the like if you like the video, and make sure you check out all my other videos, because I have lots of tutorials about different decor things, balloons, florals. I take you along with me as I set up for various events, and no two events are the same. You find that on the channel, that there are a variety of events on the channel, so you'll get to see all that. So please consider subscribing. It really helps me grow, it really helps the channel, and shows me that you guys are interested. And I appreciate everyone who is already subscribed and who likes the videos, who comments, and who shows the appreciation. So I am adding my other flowers here. These are the champagne. It's a champagne color hydrangea by the name, but it looks kind of a pale orange. But I like this little contrast in the color for this event, because it gave it kind of added a different touch to everything, and pulled the champagne that we use on the tables for, and really pulled it in well. So I'm stepping back to make adjustments and really see where I need to add. Once I'm done with these, then I can add the roses and then figure out where I need to fill anything in as well. But these vases are heavy and tall, and they're great for these large centerpieces, but they take quite a bit of flowers, because when you're creating floral arrangement, you have to make sure that the flowers are proportional to the vase, right? You don't want a small vase and you put too many flowers, or a shorter vase, you overload it with flowers. So it has to have some kind of proportion to it. So continuing to do that here, rotating, stepping back, looking at everything, making sure that whoever sits under the table doesn't see my flowers or the construction underneath. So I'm trying to hide all that so that it stands out, and also remembering that most people are going to walk in, not really look at the bottom. Now I have these roses that come in a pack of 50. I think this is a good buy. The only thing that I would say that I'm not a fan of is the roses tend to come off if you're not careful. Like if you're maneuvering them, sometimes they tend to come off, but it's a great deal. They're kind of a velvety feel, so it looks more real than just the silk flowers that you buy. So I really like them. I'm cutting down the stems as well, and for the roses I'm making them come out more than the hydrangea so that you really see that pop in all of them. So this was the first one I did. As I went on designing each one, then I was able to be more flexible in how I design each piece. I'm filling again with more hydrangea. So this kind of has more of the white hydrangea. It has kind of a double layer of hydrangea because you saw my base was all hydrangea. Now I have this famous backdrop that I created, a floral arch for a wedding. I rent these out and I'm just customizing it with the roses. So I just change out the roses because everything else is glued on. So the roses I just put to add the color for the venue. You can see my table on the left there that I did a mock-up so that the bride could see how the table will look, because we were not clear on the concept. What she wanted, what I was suggesting. Basically what we did here is a collaboration with a couple who wanted to rent the venue. We decided to add on to what they were doing for their wedding so that we could get more pictures for the venue. So I decided to add on to the centerpieces and add a few more things so that we could just get more out of the event, and they could also get more, like the LED dance floor and some other rental items added on to their wedding as well. So it was a good collaboration. I am adding more flowers, trying to add a few on the left there and the right. So you'll see me just figuring out where to add, and here we go. So I'm getting ready to go to Dallas to pick up some more white chairs for an event because I don't have enough, and the event coming up, they need more chairs. Anyway, I was waiting on Matt to get here and I'm working on the flowers, but I just realized something. The hydrangea that you have, it's on my Amazon storefront, and I've been using these for all my floral arrangements. Opened one box and it only had 7 flowers. That's this one, and no stems to put the flowers on. This one only has 9, this has 8, this has 8, this has 8. None of them have stems. If they even had stems, I could say I could use them. But when you face a situation like this, that you have an event that you need to complete the decor, I'm saying this so that you know either to order the flowers early enough and check it, because one pack has to have 10. But this only has, see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, no stems to put the hydrangea on, and I don't have extra stems. I could use the ones I clipped off of this, but they're not gonna be long enough. So make sure you check your box when you get them, because right now I'm in a bind. I don't know what to do. And these are not like a 2-day shipping. This has 2, 4, 6, 8, and 9, no stems. No stems. I don't know. I'm sure someone returned it or bought it, took the stem. I don't know. But I have one stem here, so I'm kind of thinking if I can make one whole box complete, but the stems, we can't possibly. I'm even nervous about opening these boxes. But I don't have time to return to get my money back or return to get a replacement, and one of them was taped, so it looks like someone returned it. I don't know what to do. The rose stems are pretty long. I don't know if I cut here on the shorter ones. Let me see if I have. No, they're not long enough. I have to figure something out. So I bought 8 boxes. This one has the stems. So 2 out of 8 boxes had stems. The rest don't have stems at all, and they're not complete. So I'm gonna put these stems, see how much I can get done. If I can find other stems, then, because I have 1, 2, 3 more, I might be able to make it work. I'm still waiting on these to come, the champagne colored ones, but that's from a different company, I think. Actually, no, it's the same company, but I haven't had issues with that one. So I'll show you guys when I'm done. Let me show you how far I've gone. So I have 4 over here. Total 9 of the flowers, and we're gonna do the candelabras. And I have one in here. And the flowers, you guys saw that. Let me turn on the light. Yeah, you saw this one, I think. And then our other piece there. So we're insulating the garage door. I need to do a separate video on that. Okay, let me finish this. I'll show you the final product. Now it's time to set up the ballroom. It is the day before the wedding, so it's about 6 p.m. Family members are here, friends are here, the bridal party is here, the couple is here. We are all hands on deck to get this place transformed for this beautiful ceremony that is going to take place. So you can see we're setting up all our tables on the left side because we are going to have the ceremony and the reception. So we'll do a room flip. I am going to do a separate short video just to explain our process behind the room flip. So stay tuned for that. But we're setting up all the chairs ceremony style because they'll have their ceremony, and then we'll do the room flip to have the reception. We have several things going on here. I'm trying to coordinate everything again as a venue owner, as a decorator, trying to make sure all those things are in place. A lot of times I come in and I decorate, but this time I have to also coordinate and make sure things are in place. So I'm answering all the questions, guiding the family on what they need to do. They're tying the sashes, pulling all the tables, and we're just working together to make sure all of this is good and done. And they have their rehearsal right after. So we are all really busy getting everything done, and it's so exciting to see the room transform and just look beautiful with all the colors that they chose. The bride had beautiful, elegant, royal colors that she was working with, and it just turned out so nice. You'll have to subscribe so you don't miss how I show you the room flip and also some pictures of how everybody looked. Now that everyone is gone, the rehearsal is done. Now I can focus on this backdrop. I kind of like doing this when everyone is gone to at least give them a surprise thing when they show up tomorrow for the wedding. So I'm putting my base layer here with the gold. I'm just adding all the fabric. I use 3 panels here because my gold fabric is a little bit longer than my regular fabrics. This is the bold fabric I bought when I first decided I wanted to start my pipe and drape, and I cut the panels myself and sewed the seams to put on the crossbars. So once I do this, we are doing a double backdrop because I need a backdrop that is long enough to cover this serpentine table where the bridal party will be sitting. So our second layer here that I'm putting up, we're going to start designing what we want to do. Initially, I told the bride that I would go with the white and gold, and later I decided I think we should add that wine color to everything. So I didn't have the wine in stock, but I purchased it just so it would tie in all the colors for this event, and I'm glad I did because I loved how the backdrop looked. So we have the gold in the middle, and we're going to put 2 of the white fabrics on the side so that it holds that gold to the middle, and then we'll have 1 of the wine color fabric or the burgundy on the sides as well. So this adds a nice pop of color, but it makes it look really good. I'm not going to go to every detail showing you how it's done, because whatever I repeat on this crossbar will be the same thing I repeat on this one on the left. Now, coming to measurement was tricky because I have 1 gold fabric in the middle, which means I had to find my center point, then measure on the sides of that center point to make sure that that gold fabric was right in the middle of the full backdrop. And from there, start figuring out if the rest of my fabric was in the right place. So lots of measurements, lots of time, but we got it figured out. Once all that was done and all the fabric was spread out evenly, then I created these white caps. I went with white to give it again that nice separation of color and separation of the drapes. You see when I start draping where that middle white fabric is going to separate the two to give it that division. I didn't want to make it the wine color. So once all those caps are on and we're happy with how even everything looks, then we can raise our backdrop now to the desired height. With the height, I want to make sure it's gonna cover the throne chairs because my throne chairs are pretty tall. Not only that, I want it to catch the attention of the guests who come in. This ballroom is a good size. If we make the backdrop, let's say 8 feet, people will walk in. The serpentine tables will draw the attention, the tables will draw the attention, the chairs, other things, but I made it really tall. I believe I went 12 feet because my drapes behind this, the white ones back there, are 14 feet. So I went with 12 feet to give it that depth. Now, in order to drape your fabric, you want to stand in the middle of where you measured. Remember our center point. Otherwise, your backdrop is going to be pulled to the right or the left. So I have the middle gold all folded through, pleated. Now I'm adding the 2 white fabrics, pleating in the same manner. But with my wine fabric, I don't want it to be this straight. I don't want it to have that V. I want it to have that curve on the bottom. So I'm swooping it in my hand. In order to do that, you want to hold it with the left hand at the point it's going to tie to the white. Then you're going to lift it up and fold on your other hand, my right hand, until you get it all gathered up. This fabric is great to work with. It's a 4-way stretch fabric and it works really well with pleating and designing those pleats. I love working with the 4-way stretch fabric, my favorite to work with. So I'm repeating the same thing on this left side as well, and then we're going to do the same on the right side of our backdrop. I am using pipe cleaners to hold the fabric in place in case I didn't mention that earlier. I just tied 2 pipe cleaners together so it's long enough to hold all the bulk of the fabric, and that helps. You have to step back as well to see the design so that if there are any changes you can fix it. If you're not subscribed, again subscribe so you can see the room flip, so you can check out all the other tutorials as well, and you can be a part of our wonderful family. Comment down below if there are any decor ideas you would like to see, and I'd love to design those for you. Finishing off our backdrop here, I'll show you how I make some adjustments. You can see where I put that fabric, the gold is peeking through there. So what I have to do now is pull the fabric tighter, closer to the white, and then slowly release the outer fabric so that it gives it that deeper swoop. But we're not quite done. Remember, we have all that fabric on the floor that needs to be folded. Once I get the gold drape ties adjusted on there, we'll move all that gold fabric that's on our first layer to the back just so that it's folded in, and you can see the floor, it's all a mess, but watch how I just tuck everything in to get it. But again, not quite done. I was going to show you guys how I covered this up so that I can put the flowers for the ceremony to hide this backdrop so that we can reveal this when it's time, when they do their cocktail hour and come back in after the room is flipped. So make sure you stay tuned for that. I'm folding all this to create a puddle, kind of that puddle look on the bottom, making sure that all the colors that are at the top are showing seamlessly down, so you can kind of follow through and see the same color. The gold comes in at the bottom and opens up in the middle. That is the plan here, tucking all that white, making it nice and smooth. I hope you can tell the difference it takes when you take time and really fold that fabric or tuck all that fabric in. Now we're putting up uprights and a longer crossbar that we're going to use to cover this up. Yes, remember we're having the reception, then the ceremony. This backdrop that we just designed is for the reception. So we're going to put a simple white crushed voile fabric to cover this design so that we can put our floral arches, the two we added the roses to, so that they'll have the ceremony. Then we'll move this out of the way to the cake table to reveal the backdrop we just designed after they have their cocktail hour and we do the room flip. So that is the plan for this. Stay tuned for that video. It's going to be a quick short one because it's just revealing how we transform the space, but I'll add videos of the reception and the dancing with the LED floor. That is absolutely gorgeous. So again, thank you for being here. If you have questions, leave it in the comments below. That's our floral arch, more of a closer, clearer look to that. We made adjustments later on, but yeah, that is the final look. Thanks for watching. Have a blessed day.
Some ring exchanges here, Christian. What token do you give in commendation of your vows? Place that ring on my hand, and then I want you to repeat after me.